Hey everyone, it's Steve and Scott with the Knowles Woolsey team. Today we're super excited and pleased to bring you the second edition of Happy Hour with the Knowles Woolsey team.
Guys, today we're back downtown Barrie where we love it. We're at Hooligans Restaurant today. I'm reluctant to call this a sports bar because it's so much more. We've got amazing food, one of the best waterfront patios in the city.
The best waterfront patio in the city, for sure.
Unbelievable views. Now let's go ahead and check this out. All right, guys, it's our favorite time of the week. It's happy hour. As we said, we're down at Hooligans Restaurant today. If you haven't been here, you have to check this place out. As I said, so much more than a sports bar here. The decor is unbelievable. There's so much detail in here. They've got a 20-foot TV. You can watch whatever sporting event you're looking for on there. On top of that, the food is incredible. We're not just talking about wings here. We're talking about everything from one end to the other. The food is really, really impressive. On top of that, we mentioned the patio. Can't emphasize that enough. We're gonna have a peek at that after. But for now, let's get some drinks and meet the owner. So Hooligans has been around 3 years now.
Just past 3 years, yeah.
Good. So starting to get a good reputation around town. You guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
Tell us a little something that maybe not everybody knows about Hooligans, but they should know.
So this used to be a bank, the TD Bank branch.
Right.
This isn't the original building. The original building burnt down about 75 years ago. But as a functional bank, we still have the vault. We took the door off it, but through the men's washroom, we have the original bank vault. It's still there, and we use it for storage.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good storage for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, you know, I think as we get into this item, we want to touch on a little bit of real estate. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So why don't you tell us a little bit? You know, everyone's always curious about different people around town. Tell us about your first experience in real estate.
So my first experience, I was living in a building that was torn down on Collier Street in an apartment.
Original downtown boy.
Yeah, well, in the restaurant business.
Right.
My wife and I, now wife, but then girlfriend, we thought we'd get pre-approved for a mortgage. So we did, and then within 3 weeks had bought friends of ours their house on 54 Marion Crescent in the East End. Yeah, it was a whirlwind from living in an apartment to owning a house, but
we've seen that story before. You always
I
got
bet
to
you
watch
have.
that mortgage pre-approval. It moves things along quickly.
it starts the ball rolling.
Yes, sure. And humorous, do you recall what you paid for the house back then?
I did. It was 17 years ago, it was $177,000.
Unbelievable.
And that was a huge amount of money back then. Like I was on my tippy toes to get into that house.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It won't get you into a shed these days, but
exactly right. Yeah.
Awesome, good. So I think we're going to cut into some of the real estate market stuff, but I appreciate you having us, Adam, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers. Welcome.
Again.
Pleasure to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys, so time to get down to business. Let's get into a little bit of the real estate talk. So we want to know what's been going on in the Barrie real estate market. We're going to look back to the month of August here and go over a little bit of the stats for you. When we look at the average price point in the city of Barrie, we were up almost 5% year over year from August of last year to August to this year. So a nice little bump. More importantly than that, the volumes drastically increased. So we're up almost 20% over August of last year. Now, August and July, not exactly the most robust months in the real estate market. We're definitely, a lot of people are focusing on the holidays, the cottages, the kids, that sort of thing. But nonetheless, nice to see a little bit more of that activity coming back to the market. Now, one thing you guys may not know that my Uncle Steve here, he's not exactly crazy about a lot of the statistics because it's very difficult to paint the entire market with one brush.
For sure, Scott. So what's really interesting out there is we're starting to find what I would call a more balanced market. So a balanced market means it's a great opportunity for both sellers and buyers because we can get in there as realtors, we can negotiate deals, we can get in the corner there for you and bounce deals around and find some good fair value, unlike some of the previous markets we've had, which have been rather hectic.
For sure, and I think with Steve's and I, different experience levels in real estate. I'm coming up on 10 years, Steve 35 years. So Steve's seen a lot more of the changing markets over the years, and I think we're starting to find a little bit more of an older school feel to the real estate market right now.
Yeah, that's just it. You know, it helps to have a little bit of experience when you're getting into the game here right now, because a lot of these guys that have been around just a couple of years, I'll tell you, it's a completely different market that we're heading into now.
Definitely, yeah. And I think it's good to everybody to see a little bit more of a balanced area out there. But overall, I think we see a good steady market ahead of us out there. I don't think there's any big major changes coming. We want to keep our eye out on the interest rates out there because there's some talk of those bumping up a little bit further, which will affect our affordability. But all in all, I think a good steady market ahead, and we'll stay the course and see what next month brings us.
For sure. And what I like to have a look at too as well is what's so interesting is that Simcoe County is a bit of a hotspot for investment and real estate in general. So we're in such a cool location here as far as the proximity to the southern markets and all that job opportunity and all that money. So I think we've got a good future in store for us here in Barrie.
No question about it. All right, guys, so we had to come up and check out this patio. We've talked lots about it, and let me tell you, it doesn't disappoint. It's unbelievable up here. The views are second to none. They've got a separate menu up here that's equally as awesome as downstairs. It's got its own bar. Misters when it's hot out. It's got lights, so daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter. It's always incredible up here. So guys, today we wanted to get into that tips and tricks part of our episode here, where we're bringing to you kind of some knowledge from the front lines. We're involved in trading real estate every day, so we want to give you some intel to really take advantage of a market. And you know, we've got Uncle Steve, some of you may not know, he's a bit of the condo king when it comes to Barrie here, where we've got, you know, the last 600 waterfront condos along the waterfront were sold, you know, through him and the team, and, you know, tremendous amount of knowledge there when it comes to our condo market. So wanted to dive a little bit into that today. So Uncle, what can you tell us? Where's a good opportunity in the condo market right now?
Well, gee, Scott, Condo King, I don't know about that, but I'll tell you this, that it is an interesting market. Barrie's been such a evolving city. You know, we used to be this little town of 40,000, and now we're getting kind of all grown up, pardon the expression.
For sure.
We've got such limited development opportunity around our lake. There's a little piece between Grand Harbor and Nautica. There's a few little pieces here and there, but that is about it. So that is probably your best protection for future investment around our lake here, and arguably right now our value is incredible. If you look at our markets to the south in the Toronto area, the markets down there are somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a square foot on average, and in Barrie we're around $450, $500. So along the lake that is, and lots of other value that is great that's off water on all the mid-rise stuff. So lots of great possibilities there.
For sure, and we definitely keep a close eye on the inventories out there. It's often how we can control supply and demand, and we're definitely seeing an increase of inventory in our waterfront condos right now, which I think that's where we see the biggest opportunity right now. You know, we've got between all the different waterfront buildings, there's a little bit of selection out there right now. So you can go in, look at different buildings, look at different floor plans, different view perspectives. There's so much to it. And right now you have the opportunity to check all that out versus only one or two available. So it really creates you a good opportunity to go out and find the right fit. On top of that, you know, some of these buildings out there are getting a little bit older. They're 10 to 20 years old, some of them, and some suites haven't been updated. So they got a bit of an older finish in there. And we really like those from an investment perspective, or even as you're buying to move in, because, you know, they don't require a lot of the major renovations that houses do. So you're not doing windows and roof and furnace and some of those major line items. It really comes down to the cosmetics to give them a facelift.
Absolutely, Scott. And it's a funny thing there with condos. We hear people say, well, geez, I'm just not sure about the condo fee. Well, all I can tell you is that I'm in sort of a 35-year-old house up in Old Allendale there. It's lovely. But, you know, as the clock ticks, we all have condo fees on our houses. So certainly don't let that scare you away from the condo market, that's for sure. As far as the balance of the inventory out there right now, yes, we do have a little bit of a surplus with the waterfront condos, which is a result of the actual overall housing market being a bit softer.
Right.
But as we move into the later fall market, I expect that'll be eaten up pretty quickly.
Agreed. So great opportunity right now, but that window's going to close. So definitely get out there, take advantage of it, whether it's you, a parent, a grandparent, whoever's interested. There are all kinds of opportunity in that condo market right now. So, you know, guys, I think we're going to take in a little bit more of this view, a little bit more of this rooftop, but it's been great chatting with you today. Keep in mind at Hooligans, guys, we're going to have a couple of different client events coming your way that we're going to host at this facility. Literally can't beat the food, can't beat the space up here. So keep tuned for those. Also, if you're doing any private events, they do everything from weddings here, birthday parties, anniversaries, it's all here. So contact the awesome staff. They'll get you set up for your private events as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, Scott. And I got to tell you that this view here, folks, I challenge you, this is the best view in all of Ontario. Check it out.
Cheers.